2. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 7 a.m. on May 27th. It's Wednesday. Happy hump day. Happy Wednesday, people. So I woke up this morning and got up, came downstairs, made my coffee, scrolled through Facebook, and my immediate first, so the first thing I was going to do today my plan for this morning was I was going to go in the backyard, water some plants. I've got some greens that I wanted to get into. Well, when I say a bed, really what I mean is Isaiah's old water table, but I had some greens I wanted to get into the water table. So my plan was to wake up and do my morning contemplation, right? And that is getting the coffee, sitting. It's now warm enough that sitting can be out here on the porch or in the backyard, and just kind of looking around and thinking about what needs to be done. And I made the coffee, filled up the first watering can with water, and in my head realized that what I really wanted to do was sit on the couch. And there's a new TV show with Janelle Monáe in it. I cannot tell you the name of it. I started watching it the other night. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of fun. It's well, it's not fun. It's up here, right? So there's a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'm in the 4th episode. I've got no clue who is what and what's happening. But I wanted to watch it because it's pure escapism. And in the morning, if I want to put media on, it's to scroll through Facebook and see what's happening in the world. Or around about 8 o'clock, around about 7:30, 8 o'clock, I usually put Amy Goodman and Democracy Now! On and jump into the world that way. And this morning I wanted to jump into fiction, pure escapist fiction that has so much sci-fi stuff going on in it that I don't have to worry about that being part of my reality. And realize that that's because right now there's a whole bunch of crap going on. There's just the layers. So black fatigue, right? So good morning. It is Wednesday, the 27th, and along with many other brothers and sisters out there, I'm dealing with that black fatigue. So chose not to put the TV on, chose to come back here, sit on the back porch, and figured I'd talk to y'all just a little bit. Because there's great stuff happening. Joe Manetti! Yo, what's up, human? Mwah! Hope all is well. Glad to see you fighting the fight. Actually, I'm going to talk a little bit. I'm going to allude to some of the things that I've seen on your page and on some other folks' pages. As we had, before the KCC closed, we had this wonderful Sunday, right? And we used to have these great conversations on Sundays because all of these different human beings would come in with all of their different ways of being, and all these great conversations would happen. So we were there one Sunday, and I was sitting off to the side, and Versatile, and if you know Versatile, man, this woman is an amazing lightning rod catalyst, all this great stuff. If you're friends with her on Facebook, then you get to see the ridiculous questions that she poses all the time, and the dialogue that comes from these questions that then extend out into the real world, right? So that's pretty awesome. But it was this interesting place where she was talking about something, and she was saying, well, let's agree to disagree. And the people there were like, no, we're not going to agree to disagree. And it turned into the fight. And I was like, whoa. As I'm hearing, it's like, wait, let me just jump in here right now. Because whatever the conversation is what the conversation is going to be. But a core value, let's talk about the values of the KCC. And one of our values is that we don't agree to disagree. Because, now wait, let me just share, let me put that in context. And let me just tell you about my house. If you believe that pancakes are better than French toast, I might judge you a little bit. But we can agree to disagree on that one, right? French toast is so much better because it's got cinnamon and eggs, and you can use whatever kind of bread you want. You hear my stuff, right? Glad you hear my stuff. I'm always trying to interject my stuff to make it clear. I'm not trying to be water. I got very real and definite ideas, right? So French toast versus pancakes, great. We can agree to disagree, and there are going to be some mornings when you're super happy, Isaiah. There's going to be some mornings when I'm a little bit happier, and if the day ever happens when we can go out to a restaurant again and we can eat, we can both be happy at the same time. Isn't that wonderful? And we can agree to disagree on whether pancakes are better than French toast. But the police in this country disproportionately kill black bodies, and the police in this country don't allow the same grace, or don't allow the same space when attacking black bodies that they do when they attack white bodies. There's no space to agree to disagree there. And so as this conversation was happening, I jumped in, like pancakes and French toast, like, dude, and just little fun stuff, we can agree to disagree. But what we need to understand is, and folks who use the word liberal to describe yourself, I'm going to push. So play with that word, feel it, figure out where it is yours and figure out where it isn't. But liberals and white supremacists and racists love to agree to disagree in order to not get to the truth, right? So one place that I've seen this many, many times is you got a young white liberal, and they've taken one step, maybe two. They've taken a step into social justice. They're starting to put things together. They're starting to see things. Oh my God, being gay in America is just as hard as being black in America. No, it's not. No, it really isn't. There are so many parallels. There are many places where there aren't parallels, and I need you to understand that in telling me that being black is easier than being gay, or being black and gay is the same, you've completely left out, hello, us black gay folks, what the fuck are you trying to say about us? Like, what was it? The woman is the nigger of the world. What the fuck are you trying to say? Like, as a black woman, what are you trying to say? But these are these places where folks say these things, right? And in certain instances, they get accolades. And when they say it to themselves, it feels good, right? And then they come into space with people who have more information. And rather than saying, oh my God, you're right, or I never realized that, or I never thought about it that way, or even down to, if I thought about it, what you just said makes complete sense. We're just going to have to agree to disagree. One of the most egregious places where it hit my life, in I would say work life, but as someone who's always figured out how to work with humans, work life, personal life, all the same, personal, political, all that good stuff, right? But I was in Philadelphia with a youth group that I was running, and one of the youth group leaders who had a really good grasp on American history. And we were in Philly. And we were in Philly at at IHOP, and we're having breakfast, and I was having French toast, because French toast is way better than pancakes, and we all know this. We will not agree to disagree. I'm right. Anyway, we're in Philly, and I say something about, the United States government. About 20 years ago, the government blew up a whole bunch of black people here. Yeah, there's black folks creating their own community. They were taking care of themselves. Yeah. Oh yeah, they were sending like great stuff. You buy bread, all this great stuff, but they were blown up. This young, college-educated white woman, very liberal, knew that she was there, but didn't have this piece of American history, decided that we were going to agree to disagree. And I, of course, was Kamora verklempt. If you have ever been in that place where you wonder why Kamora is doing this, when it's like, no, you know what? We are just very nicely going to agree to disagree. Because your ignorant ass didn't learn a thing. But we can't sit in a place where we understand that this black person has information that this white person doesn't have. We're supposed to agree to disagree. No, we're not going to agree to disagree. So I'm sharing this because I got many soapboxes. Not agreeing to disagree is one of my soapboxes. But I've seen, and I've seen it in my own family too. So as we do these, I really need people to understand that my mother is white. And that means that I got first cousins who are white. And white people are white people, regardless of who they are related to. So guess what? As I'm talking about, hey, white folks, push back on your white cousins, your aunts, your uncles, you're talking to someone who has practiced that shit in real life. I'm not standing on a tower telling you what to do. I'm telling you, I unfortunately have a cousin who has a wife and a child. I've got this little baby cousin who I've never met. I've got a cousin who married a woman who seems to think it's okay to run protesters down, to run Black Lives Matter protesters down on the highway because of their protesting and barring her way to work. Then, of course, as Americans, she should just run them over, right? Yeah, I don't deal with those folks no more. Told them why I don't deal with them. Don't deal with them. So as we talk about this, there's no place where I'm trying to push you in a place that I'm not going myself. But I saw this young person this morning, and he was writing exactly what I started talking about today. He was writing about how clearly the police in this country appear to have a vendetta against black bodies because they are just killing black bodies at way higher rates than white bodies. And his auntie came on, and like that beautiful way, like, oh, I love it, that I really, really, really wish that you would, like, that beautiful place of, I love you so much. Someone pushed the aunt back, and it was so wonderful because the aunt came up and said, no, I'm just saying, I raised him, and I've known him since he was a young child, and he's better than this. Dude, a young white man was saying the police need to stop killing black people, and his aunt was saddened because he should know much better than this, right? And so then she started posting what she thought were her own wonderful statistics. Good morning, Margaret. How are you? Mwah. And her statistics included numbers, right? So the numbers lined up with more white bodies murdered in whatever county it was that she posted, right? More white bodies than black bodies. And then we could get down to all the nitty-gritty on where she pulled her numbers from and why she only focused on one specific area and all this other good stuff, right? But the nephew then, rather than saying, well, you know what, we've got to agree to disagree, which has been happening for far too long, and white folks of a certain age, black folks of a certain age, I'm going to hold you accountable for a whole lot of what we're dealing with right now. If you could have held your great Uncle Phil's feet to the fire 20 years ago, then your cousin Fred wouldn't be the asshole who he is. Oh, I just used real names. But it was beautiful to see this person not go to that nice place. And the nice white liberal who was completely wrong, but nice and measured and polite, kept trying to get to the place of, well, I guess we just have to agree to disagree. Right now, I'm asking everyone, again, what did I say I'm dealing with? I woke up and I wanted to put on ridiculous Janelle Monáe sci-fi because I didn't want to look at the day, right? I didn't want to step into what's going on today. And today, I've got a whole bunch of outside work we're going to be doing. I will be getting ready for tonight. So tonight when we have the community conversation, we're going to be talking about all this stuff. So please come to the community conversation. Come to Zoom and be a part of the conversation. If you don't want to be a part of the actual wordy conversation, watch us on Facebook Live and share information here. That's going to be a lot of fun. But right now, work really, really hard to not agree to disagree. There's that place where with the Central Park Cooper, I guess we can just say Cooper and let it cover everything, right? But we look at the Central Park nonsense, and there are people who want to say that her mistreatment of the dog was equal to what she was doing to the black man. And I've seen that one, and people are like, well, you know, animal cruelty and the dog didn't do anything. And you know, they're both equally as bad. Wait, a white woman in the United States of America calling the police and just making some shit up. And did you watch that video? 3 times when she says that she feels threatened by an African-American man. The voice, the level of terror in her voice, whoa, she is good. She is good. I heard there's a whole lot of voiceover work these days. Maybe she can get that as a job because that one's waiting for her. Oh my God, right? But the numbers of people who seem to feel that it makes sense to be equally outraged over her treatment of that dog and her treatment of that black man creates a place where we can start to really figure out who we live on this earth with. I am not in any kind of way saying that her treatment of the dog was okay. But if you are an American and you're watching that video and you are concerned for the dog before you're concerned for the black man, I know who you are. If you want to say that, well, yes, what she was doing to that dog, to that man was off. Like you should never just call the police on a person. No, a white person should never call the police on a black person. Period. The end. Not a person should never call the police on a person. White people, when you call the police on a black person, you are basically trying to sign our death certificate from a nice, comfortable, removed space. Don't do it. So have the conversations. Push. What happened in Minneapolis was disgusting. There's absolutely no justification. It doesn't matter what happened before that video started. It doesn't matter what that man did when he was in 12th grade. It doesn't matter what the people standing next door to him said. Cop straight up racist. Cop practicing his white supremacy. Cop going out of his way to murder a black man happily. Look at his face. Look at all of it. No place to agree to disagree. Everything that happened was wrong. If somehow you find yourself as one of those people, you've got that germ, you've got that kernel in you, and you just need to see both sides of it, what the fuck is wrong with you? Spend today being quiet, spend today dwelling inside of you, and figure out why you need to see both sides of this nonsense. We don't, and if you do, keep it to yourself. We all don't need to see it or hear it. So, good morning. I am going to sit in the backyard. I've already watered. I'm going to do some planting, I'm going to do some writing, and I'm going to have a wonderful day loving myself, loving my people, thinking about all of the great things that actually happen, because there's a lot of bullshit out there. And today I'm going to take the next 8 hours to try to build. While I'm building and y'all are talking to folks, push back, don't agree to disagree, and just make it quite clear, if you value an animal over a human, that's cool, that's you. If you think cops kneeling on black men's necks because they may have forged a check is cool, because black men may have forged a check, that's cool, that's you. But be you. Yeah, I know, the police wanted to kill him. You saw that police officer completely. Please come to the community conversation this evening. Honestly, this live was for me to just talk about this. Let's not agree to disagree. But right now, as I'm saying, this evening at the community conversation, we're going to be talking about all of this in all of the ways. Please join us. Please have the conversation. Please share your voice. please listen and come be a part of this, because right now we need each other and it's hard to get close to each other. But white folks out there, I'm seeing you push back. I'm seeing you push back against people who you share blood with and who you love and who you care. Thank you. That's the only way we're going to move forward. Agreeing to disagree in order to be nice and in order to be invited to Aunt Becky's cookout on the 4th of July just ain't cutting it anymore. Love y'all. Peace.